What up? Back in the office, Mr. Smith, point five of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Just stuffing a couple of more envelopes so I can help heighten the scores of some clients, and just wanted to shoot a quick video and just kind of talk about how credit, real quick. Don't want to spend too much time, because I want to value yours and value mine. But just really wanted to speak on the fact that how credit is symbolic to life in a sense, especially with now in 2020. And a lot of people are feeling a lot of different ways in 2020. Depending on who you tune into, you'll think it's the worst of times. But also on the flip side, depending on who you tune into, you'll think it's the best of times and people are having a time of their life. So it's just all about perspective. It's all about who you tune into that'll determine how you view the current scenario, the current times that we're in, or the current time that you're in. So be careful, and I mean this, be careful who you tune into. Because some people will drag it down and, yes, the worst, this and this. And because they feel that way, their perspective will dictate their reality. Some people don't believe that, but I think you can take that one to the bank. Your perspective will dictate your reality. So even though sometimes people with the positive talk might come off as, happy-go-lucky, or like they just don't see reality, it's better to be plugged into those type of people, because if you can adopt a piece or a percentage of their perspective, it'll change your life, because you'll start seeing the good in everything. So what does that have to do with this video? Everything. Pose for the frame. I do that so I can give me a still image screenshot. But basically, seeing the good in everything, or changing your perspective on how you view things, is a game changer. It changes everything. So what I mean, how does credit connect with life? What's the analogy? Yada, yada. See, sometimes you got to take the negatives and turn those negatives into positive. I know you heard the cliche statement of taking lemons and turning it into lemonade. It's cliche, but it's basically a analogy that says use what you got, make something out of it. Even if you got a little bit of what some people might overlook or think that is insignificant, used properly, it can be a positive and and possibly be profitable if you understand how it works. So, what am I getting at? I opened up, a client's account today because I had a reminder saying, okay, it's time to check into this client account, see where we are, what we need to do to move to the next phase. Because I own a credit restoration company, and what we do is restore the credit of those. Me and my team, we restore credit. We take a holistic approach to restoring their credit. If it's something that needs to be removed, then we remove it. If it's something that's erroneous, then we get that addressed. If it's derogatory accounts for different reasons, then we address it the best way we know how. But not only do we limit it to just getting things removed, we also want to build credit or do things that allow you to strengthen your current credit. So I was looking at the client accounts today, and basically, upon looking at that client account, I noticed that we had three things that got updated to positive. They were once negative, but like I stated, sometimes you got to take the negatives and turn it into positive. That's applicable in life. And don't get me wrong, I know sometimes certain negatives will take you down through there from a standpoint of how do you possibly see positive in this scenario. So trust me, I get it. Especially if it's life-threatening or you lost a loved one. I'm not speaking on that. But certain things that like, okay, this can't be the worst. I'm still here. I still got my immediate family here. How can I turn this into a positive? Even if it feels like it's the worst, it's always a way that you can look at it. In hindsight, you realize, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was, or something positive came out of it. Sometimes you have to be able to do that in the present. Easier said than done, but sometimes you have to be able to do that in the present. Take a negative situation, look at it from all angles, take a holistic approach like I do with the credit, and say, you know what, it's a positive in this, because the fact that this happened in 2020, it positioned me to do this. Now I'm able to do this and this, and then when I look back, I'm glad I was able to see the positive and have a different perspective on what it is that I'm doing. So take those negatives and flip it into the positive. So how were we able to flip some negatives on this person's account and turn it into the positive? So basically, their credit score was, above 700 already, and we're just looking at the account, seeing what we can do to strengthen it even more because they want to make some real estate moves. And long story short, in a nutshell, in order to make those real estate moves in a way that allows them to have the best interest rate, they wanted to strengthen the score. Now, don't get me wrong, when you're over 700, it's a lot of leeway you got, and sometimes people are willing to treat that 700 score as if it's an 800 score. That's a whole nother conversation. But the fact that he had great history with certain accounts, but it was showing up negative, you don't want to remove that. Sometimes people will take that account and want to remove it. Well, these accounts are still open. These accounts are still seasoned. Not only that, majority of what's happening with this account is overall positive, not negative. It's just showing up negative to the bureaus based on them reporting a particular a late payment on that account. That could have been an error. That could have been accurate, but it's reporting a late, and he got years of good positive history with this creditor, but they just were going through that normal flow and reported it on the account, the credit bureaus, and because of it, it was reflected negative on this report. So what we did was address that issue from an angle of, hey, let's take the positive out. I know it's showing up negative, but look, we got a good history, some great positives. I'm not defaulting on anything. I'm paying as agreed. Can we get that updated to positive? So we addressed it in that angle, and lo and behold, 3 of them, or all 3 bureaus, updated that negative to a positive. So we were able to see the good in the score, even though it was showing up red on our end. We were able to make certain moves and flip that into a positive. So you can do that same thing with life. So you can apply that mentality of credit, or the way that I view credit, take something that might be looked upon as negative and see how we can flip that into a positive without getting rid of it altogether. Do that with life. See what's happening in your life that may be looked at as negative in a sense. But instead of throwing your life away altogether, let's flip that into a positive and take a holistic approach or a holistic viewpoint of everything that's going on, so you can do what you have to do in order to make the most of the present time that you're in, no matter when it is that you're watching this video. So just wanted to shoot that quick video on how we turn negatives into positive in life, as well as how we turn negatives into positives with your credit score. If you need assistance or you would like our assistance, we'd be glad to assist you. You can visit royaltycreditservice.com and get access to us, some information, things of that nature, or shoot me a text once you visit that site and get access to certain things, or just message us all together. Somebody on my team or myself may connect with you, but we're here to assist you if you want to restore your credit, get positioned to leverage your credit or buy a home, whatever it is you want to do in terms of your credit, or just restoring your finances overall. Reach out. That's what we're all about. Just wanted to share this quick video. Hopefully you got a nugget out of it. Drop whatever nugget you got out of it. Drop whatever negative scenario you've gone through that you flipped into the positive. Drop what you've done in 2020 that was once viewed as scary / negative, but you flipped it and said, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to make progression. Either way, thank you for tuning into the video. More videos to come. Salute, Mr. Smith, 0.5 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Signing out.